What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Papa here at West Georgia Rides and Customs. Going to start a new series this year, and this is actually number one of the series. If many of you have been following my channel for a few years, you've seen that I've taken just some, I wouldn't say glue bombs, but I've purchased a lot of old kits from various builders, and then some are glue bombs, some are actually exceptional builds that I've purchased. Back last year during COVID, I had a good friend out in the community of the YouTube modeling community. He reached out to everyone on Facebook and wanted to get rid of some of his builds and some of his kits and parts and etc. So I went to his house. I went through what he had left over, and this is one of the kits. This is the Revell Pro Modeler Series 69 Dodge Charger Daytona. This was one of his builds that he was getting rid of. He parted out a few other builds, which were phenomenal builds. One of them, matter of fact, I've got sitting up here on the in my stash, or well, my finished builds. It's one of his personals. It was actually photographed for Scale Auto magazine, which I'm very, 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 very proud to have in my collection. So anyhow, this one right here was just one of his shelf models, and when he was starting to pack up and everything, he put it into his into the back into this box here. And I opened it. I was going through some of the kits the other day and just happened up on this one. And I pulled it out just to see what was in it because I was really looking for some parts. And this was actually the kit that he had finished it. And I guess when he was parting everything out, he kind of, he just, some parts fell off. Really here's the tire, the front tires, it came loose. Front spoiler, the chin spoiler, the back deck lid, or I'm sorry, back tail light panel, it came off. And actually other things with the kit is this Superbird spoiler, it broke loose, but just looking at it, and let me flip the hood off here. This is just a phenomenal build that he did. The only thing I could really find that's missing from this build is the tailpipes. There's two tailpipes missing out, which I can kind of remedy that with some aluminum tubing. But just looking at the level of detail that he put into these builds were just phenomenal. So I wouldn't say it's dusty. It's just got it's just got a little character, a little build up on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some novice and we're going to clean this build up. Taking some Q-tips, some novice #1 plastic shine and clean, and some of the novice cloths, and we're going to clean this build up and we're going to put it back on the shelf. So one of the things that I like to do before I start cleaning, giving one of these a cleanup, is getting any cumulative dust off of it. So I take and this is a makeup brush. Vicky had bought a couple, and when we would go to a show, she's seen other guys doing the same thing with makeup brushes. And she come back in the shop one day and she said, "Fred, I got some makeup brushes that I'll be glad to give you." And hence, this is one that I carry around with me to the shows all the time now. So just taking it and just dusting things off, and then setting it to the side. Push that over to the side, and then just taking anything, just doing this with it. Just get another thing that, and I've seen some folks do, is take compressed air, as far as like you would clean your computer keyboards out with. Just give it a quick squirt, which I don't have any here, but that's another way of getting, cleaning up your builds and stuff. And two, I mean, when I finish a build, I put mine in the clear model cases, but they dry out over a period of time. And when they do dry out, they come brittle, and just about every time you touch it, it breaks. So that's another way of keeping your builds clean, is putting them in the into the plastic cases, which each one of mine, I've just about got every one of them except for a few in the plastic cases. So, all right, now that we've got this, dusted off, let's take some of the, let's take some of this novice this isn't the polish. This is actually the number one novice plastic clean and shine. And this will pretty much well take anything, takes any fingerprints, things like that off there. So all I do is I'll just kind of saturate that a little bit and just lightly go over it. Just lightly go over the top of it. And then we'll take take another dry novice polishing cloth and just go over it lightly, like this. And anything that's really been accumulated, as far as fingerprints, anything like that, it comes right off with the stuff. This is some of and I keep one dry, one wet, and that way you can just kind of take, and you're just basically giving giving the model a bath. You pretty much, it's like washing your 1-to-1 scale cars. So, and then just take the dry one and just go over it lightly, and that takes off any of the any of the oils that from handling from your fingertips and things like that. So let's get this all up through here, and then we'll get down here. We'll turn it around back in here. You can also, another thing, these Q-tips. You can take a Q-tip, and I'm just gonna get kind of messy right there on the bench. You can, if you fat fingered like me, you just kind of take that Q-tip and just kind of clean that area off right there. And then where I squirted a little bit too much of the number one cleaner, you just take and just kind of lightly. And if you got some areas that you can't reach into, like this area right in here, just take it and then just take these little polishing cloths. These polishing cloths are very soft. So with that being said, it doesn't scratch. It's not as abrasive as, let's say, a paper towel. Paper towels are very abrasive. I even actually use paper towels sometimes to actually I wouldn't say polish, but I use it to possibly like my primer. When I do a primer coat, I'll take and use a paper towel like a piece of sanding paper. So because it is abrasive. Okay, now that we've got that side, let's flip it over to the side, and we'll continue just washing the car. Down through here. This is it's hard to say how long this car has been built, and I'd say this has probably been built for I'd say close to 5 to 10 years. So I have when I was able to buy these kits from him, he was in the YouTube modeling community. I used to watch his channel a lot, and very just a phenomenal builder. Got to be good friends with him through the model car shows. So, and when he got out of he started getting out of the hobby, I was just like, I kind of wondered, what happened to him. And then I seen on, I think it was on Facebook, that he was selling some of his kits, and I was like, wow, I sure would like to have some of those. So I contacted him and met him at his house, and we worked up a deal, and I came home with actually the rest of his stash, as well as some of his built kits that he had. So, but here we go right here. We're just getting this, we'll get all this polished out. I keep saying polish, which we're really not polishing. We're just giving the car a car wash. Let me get, I use a lot of these I call them baby diapers, but they're really polishing cloths like you would use in your regular automotive cars, as far as your like what you would polish a regular car out with. Okay, got that. All this is all pretty much pretty cleaned up now. So I will we're going to set this to the side right here. One of the things also, and I'll tell you what, I hate, there was a piece of photo etch that he had on here. It popped off a while ago, but I got some photo etch that can that'll replace this. I may be replacing this as well. And what I'll do with this is I'll hit this hood, just put a little of this on there. I'll even take my finger and just kind of go around it a little bit. Then I'm gonna clean it up with the polishing the cloth. I call them baby diapers. That's what it's kind of the same material as baby diapers are made out of. And there we go. And it just like cleans right up. So we'll set that to the side. All right. One of the things that that I noticed with the with this build, it was gosh, I mean the engine detail that he did on these. Just look at that. He was just a great builder, great detail in all of his builds. So I wanted to first thing I want to do is set. Gotta find my glasses. Always hunting my glasses. They're probably on my head, but they're not this time. All right. One of the things that I noticed is that this back spoiler, as far as this, it was broken. You can see right there. It just when we do our builds, I use just a minimal amount of glue, and so over the period of time, once it sets up for a while, it becomes dry, it becomes very brittle. That's usually the weakest point is going to be the weakest area where you put the least amount of glue. So what I'm going to do is I'll take some of this Tamiya Extra Thin. Let's get this, and we're going to turn this back sideways a little bit. I don't want to get my big head in the way, so I want everybody to see what I'm doing. And all I'm going to do is just get a little bit on that right there. Tell you what, I don't even think I'm going to use that. I'm actually going to use this Tamiya cement. It's a little bit more, it doesn't dry as quick. So we'll take this and we'll put a little bit right across that little joint right there. And then we'll clamp that down and we'll fix that. Set that off to the side and we'll let that dry. And usually, sometimes it doesn't, if it doesn't dry as quick as you need it to, you can use this Extra Thin glue. And here's what I like to do. It has a natural wicking effect. I'll just take it and just touch it because I don't want the paint to run, because it will. Once that paint starts kind of crazing, there we go. I just felt it snap into place. And then we're good. If it's not to my liking, sometimes I'll take Tamiya tape. And here's what I'll do. I'll put a little security piece to it, like this. I don't want to put it across the decal because I don't know. I'm afraid if I do too much across that decal, it may pull up. So I'm just gonna. Then I'll hit it with the glue one extra time. We'll get that wicking effect down through there, and then we'll just let it set. And then I'm gonna seal all this up. So, all right. So we've got that started. I got a few other areas that we're going to have to repair, which I'll probably just. I'll end this. This will be part one, and then we're going to come back to where we'll put the rear tail light assembly in. We'll remount the wheels in that portion. Put this chin spoiler back across it, and we may just call this one complete. So with that being said, let's finish this one out, and we'll see you next again on part 2.